Okay, Judge, I'm gonna start getting them ready, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, Judge West, we're ready for you.
All right, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what is called your first appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We're not here to try your case or to take a plea. You're here for the court to inform you of the charges against you.
Buenos días, señores y señoras. Estamos acá para la comparecencia inicial en el condado de Clayton. No estamos aquí para enjuiciarlos ni para que se declare a cargos.
Court's here to inform you of the charges against you, advise you of certain rights.
Estoy aquí para informarle de las acusaciones en su contra y informarle de los derechos que tiene.
Set bail on those offenses for which this court is authorized to set bail.
Fijarle fianza para las acusaciones por las cuales tengo la autorización de concederle fianza.
Schedule a preliminary hearing.
Y programar una audiencia preliminar.
And appoint an attorney to represent you if you do not already have an attorney.
Y también nombrar un abogado para representarle si todavía no tiene un abogado particular.
During this and all other proceedings,
durante esta diligencia y las del futuro,
you have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Tendrán derecho a permanecer callados y no decir nada.
If you give up this right and speak,
si renuncian a ese derecho y deciden hablar,
anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if this case goes to trial.
Cualquier cosa que diga durante esta diligencia puede ser usada en su contra en un juicio o audiencia futuro.
You have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Tiene derecho a la presunción de inocencia hasta que el Estado prueba su culpabilidad fuera de una duda razonable.
You have the right to an indictment by the grand jury on most felony cases.
Tiene derecho a ser acusado formalmente por el jurado de indagación cuando se trata de la mayoría de los delitos graves.
Or by accusation for misdemeanors.
O por medio de acusación general cuando se trata de delitos menores.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Tiene derecho a un juicio público y sin demora ante un jurado.
The right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses who are called to testify against you.
El derecho a ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a los testigos convocados a declarar en su contra.
The right to compel the attendance of witnesses in your own behalf by subpoena.
Y el derecho de obligar la presencia de testigos en representación suya por medio de citatorio judicial.
The right to testify and offer other evidence in your own defense should you choose to do so.
El derecho a declarar y presentar otras pruebas en su propia defensa si deciden hacerlo.
But should you choose not to do so, no presumption of your guilt may be raised.
Pero si deciden no hacerlo, no se puede presumir ninguna presunción de su culpabilidad.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you.
Tiene derecho a un abogado que lo representa.
If you cannot afford to hire your own attorney, one will be appointed to represent you.
Si no tienen los medios para contratar a su propio abogado, uno será designado para representarlo.
Each of you, as a matter of procedure,
Cada uno de ustedes, como asunto de procedimiento,
has completed an application for appointed counsel.
ya completó una solicitud para un abogado de oficio.
I will inquire of each of you individually
Interrogué a cada uno de ustedes individualmente
whether you intend to hire your own attorney or if you want me to appoint one.
si es su intención contratar a su propio abogado o si desea que yo le nombre uno de oficio.
If you want me to appoint an attorney to represent you,
Si quiere que le designe un abogado de oficio,
you assure me that the information provided in your application is true and correct,
me asegura que la información incluida en la solicitud es verdadera y correcta,
under penalty of perjury.
bajo pena de perjurio.
If an attorney is appointed to represent you,
Si se nombra un abogado de oficio para representarlo,
they will meet with you within a couple of days.
tal abogado se reunirá con usted en un par de días.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail pending prosecution.
Algunos de ustedes serán permitidos depositar fianza sin restricción mientras está esperando la resolución de su proceso judicial.
Which may be by cash,
Se puede depositar la fianza en efectivo
commercial bonding company,
a través de una compañía comercial de fianzas
or property.
o poniendo de garantía una propiedad.
If you post a cash bond,
Si deposita fianza en efectivo,
someone will deliver the full amount of the bond in cash,
alguien tendrá que entregar el total de la fianza en
together
efectivo
with applicable mandated fees,
junto con las tarifas obligatorias
to the sheriff's
judiciales
office,
a la comisaría,
who will hold it until your final court date,
y ahí guardarán el dinero hasta su
at which,
diligencia definitiva,
at which time the cash bond will be returned to the person who posted it.
y en tal punto la persona que depositó la fianza en efectivo lo puede recobrar.
If you go through a commercial bonding company,
Si utiliza una compañía comercial de fianzas,
someone will have to pay that company up to 15%
alguien tendrá que pagar esa compañía hasta un 15%
of the total bond as their fee for their service.
de la fianza total como la tarifa de servicio,
This fee will not be returned to you.
pero esta tarifa no se le devuelve.
Someone who owns property with a value of 3 times the amount of the bond
Un propietario con un inmueble que vale por lo menos 3 veces el valor de la fianza
may use that property as bond.
puede utilizar tal propiedad como la garantía de fianza.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond
Algunos de ustedes tendrán condiciones especiales con la fianza
that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to or around certain places.
las cuales le prohíbe comunicarse con cierta gente o ir a ciertos lugares.
You will also be prohibited from calling or having other contact with the victim while you are in jail.
También se le prohíbe llamar o tener contacto absoluto con la víctima mientras está detenido en la cárcel.
Should you violate the order for bond, your bond will be revoked and you would not be entitled to another bond while awaiting trial.
Si usted llega a infringir las condiciones de fianza mientras está esperando la resolución de su caso, su derecho de fianza quedará revocada y no se le permitirá otra fianza.
And additional charges may be brought against you
Además, se le puede formular acusaciones adicionales
for which you could be sentenced up to 10 years in a state penitentiary.
por las cuales se le puede condenar a hasta 10 años en la penitenciaria estatal.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes tienen acusaciones por las cuales yo como juez no tengo la autorización para imponerle fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a Superior Court judge.
En este caso, tendrá una audiencia para determinar su fianza ante un juez del Tribunal Superior.
And I will provide that information to you individually.
Y le daré esa información individualmente.
No bond is being set for some of you because records indicate you are currently on active probation.
Algunos de ustedes no tendrán una fianza fijada hoy porque, según los expedientes, están cumpliendo una condena actualmente de libertad a prueba.
Your bond can be reconsidered after your probation officer has an opportunity
Puede haber una reconsideración de su fianza después de que su agente de libertad a prueba
to determine if they wish to file a warrant for a violation of your probation.
tenga la oportunidad de determinar si desea presentar una orden de arresto por haber incumplido las normas de su libertad a prueba.
This usually occurs during your preliminary hearing.
Esto normalmente sucede durante la audiencia preliminar.
For those of you charged with misdemeanors only,
Para ustedes que solamente tienen acusaciones de delitos leves,
you will have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing.
tendrán la opción a renunciar la audiencia preliminar.
A preliminary hearing is simply to determine
La audiencia preliminar sencillamente es para determinar
if there is enough evidence
si existen suficientes pruebas
to justify keeping you detained
para justificar mantenerlos detenidos
until this case goes to trial
hasta que este caso proceda a juicio,
if you are unable to post bond.
si no puede depositar la fianza.
If you post bond, you automatically waive your right to a preliminary hearing.
Si deposita la fianza, automáticamente renuncia al derecho a la audiencia preliminar.
If you waive the hearing, your case will automatically be transferred to the state court.
Si renuncia a la audiencia preliminar, su caso será transferido automáticamente al tribunal estatal.
It will not affect your ability or your right to post bond,
Pero no afectará su habilidad de salir bajo fianza,
the right to have a trial,
el derecho de proceder a juicio,
or to have an attorney represent you.
o tampoco el derecho a tener un abogado para representarlo.
It simply speeds the process up.
Sencillamente agilice el proceso.
If you cannot post bond,
Si no puede salir bajo fianza,
you will be taken before a state court judge
tendrá una vista ante un juez estatal
as soon as possible.
lo más pronto posible,
And if you enter a guilty plea,
y si decide declararse culpable,
you will be sentenced.
Se le impondrá una condena.
If you plead not guilty,
Si se le declara no culpable,
your case will be scheduled for trial.
su caso será programado para juicio.
I will ask each of you charged with misdemeanors only
Solamente les preguntaré a los que tienen cargos leves
if you wish to waive hearing or if you want a hearing.
si desean renunciar a la audiencia preliminar o si quisieran tener la audiencia preliminar.
If you indicate that you want to waive your hearing,
Si me indica que desea renunciar a la audiencia preliminar,
you will be requested to sign a waiver of hearing form.
a usted se le va a pedir firmar un formulario para renunciar a tal audiencia.
You should find at the podium when you come up
Cuando se acerque al podio, debería encontrar ahí
paper and pen to make certain notes.
lapicero y papel para hacer ciertos apuntes
When your preliminary hearing is scheduled
sobre cuándo se ha señalado su audiencia preliminar
and how much your bond is.
y de cuánto es su fianza.
All right, Deputy Filbert, they can go back and then we will take the Hispanic inmates first.
All right, y'all go back to your cell. Come on.
Mr. Florio, do your clients speak English?
Yes, sir, they do.
Okay.
Tell them your name. Tell them your name. Nombre. Yeah, tell them.
Dora, ¿cuál es su nombre, señora?
Dora Pérez.
Dora Perez.
Ms. Perez, you are charged with family violence battery.
Señora Pérez, a usted se le acusa de violencia intrafamiliar.
I have set bail at $5,000
Le han puesto una fianza de $5,000
with the condition that you're to have no contact with
con la condición de que no tengan ningún contacto
Miss Sael Ballant, Miss Sael Ballant,
con Misael Ballant
or return to 985 Mount Zion Road, apartment 18B.
Tampoco puede regresar al 985 de la Mount Zion Road, apartamento 18B.
except that you may arrange for a deputy sheriff
Pero sí puede arreglar con un oficial de la comisaría
to go with you to the apartment
para que él o ella le acompañe al apartamento
to get some personal property
para recoger unas pertenencias
that you might need while this case is pending.
que posiblemente necesite durante el transcurso de este caso.
Are you employed?
Señora, ¿está trabajando?
Sí.
Yes.
How much money do you earn each month?
¿Y cuánto dinero está ganando al mes, señora?
Dependiendo las horas que trabajo. Me pagan $9 la hora, pero trabajo 5 horas.
It depends on the amount of hours that I work. They pay me $9 an hour, but I work 5 hours.
I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Señora, le voy a nombrar un abogado de oficio para usted.
Do you think you'll be able to post your bond for release from jail?
¿Piensa que va a poder depositar la fianza para salir de la cárcel, señora?
Pues necesito llamar para preguntar si pueden.
Well, I need to make a phone call to see if they'll be able to.
If you cannot post bond, do you want a preliminary hearing?
En el caso de no poder salir, señora, bajo fianza, ¿quiere tener la audiencia preliminar?
Or do you want to waive your hearing?
¿O quisiera usted renunciar la audiencia?
Pero si uno renuncia, que va a quedar mucho tiempo aquí.
But if you waive it, will you be here for a longer time?
No, you'll be here less time.
No, estará aquí por menos tiempo.
Pero si no completa el dinero para la fianza.
And if I'm unable to get the money together for the bond,
then you will remain in jail until there is a hearing.
entonces seguirá detenida hasta una audiencia. Okay.
Do you want to waive your hearing?
¿Quisiera, señora, renunciar la audiencia?
Sí.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I misread my notes. You are charged with a felony offense.
Disculpe, señora. No leí bien mis apuntes aquí. Su acusación es un delito grave.
Give me just a moment.
Si me permite.
I'm sorry. That is correct. It's a misdemeanor offense.
Perdón, me corrijo. Su acusación es un delito menor.
So, do you want to waive your hearing?
Entonces, ¿quisiera renunciar a la audiencia, señora? I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't hear a response. May I ask again?
Yes.
Señora, perdón, no escuché su respuesta. ¿Quisiera renunciar a la audiencia?
Sí.
Yes.
Pueden pagar la fianza.
¿Cómo?
Voy a llamar si me pueden pagar la fianza.
Yes, and I'm going to call to see if they can pay my bond.
then you will need to sign a waiver form for the deputy.
Entonces tendrá que firmar la renuncia para el señor oficial
Then you can go back with the deputy.
y ya se puede retirar con él. Gracias, señora.
Take a mask off, tell them your name.
¿Cuál es su nombre, señor?
Daniel Alejandro Trujillo.
Daniel Alejandro Trujillo, Your Honor.
Sir, you are charged with family violence battery.
Señora, ¿usted se le acusa de violencia intrafamiliar?
I've set bail at $5,000
Le he impuesto una fianza de $5,000
with the condition that you're to have no contact with Maria Sanchez
con la condición de que no tenga ningún contacto con María Sánchez
or return to 500 Waveland Way, Riverdale, Georgia,
Tampoco puede regresar a 500 de la Waveland Way. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Way or lane?
Waveland Way.
Okay.
Okay.
El 500 de la Waveland Way in Riverdale, Georgia.
Except with the assistance of a deputy sheriff
Solamente podría regresar con la ayuda de un agente de la comisaría
to retrieve personal property
para recoger sus pertenencias
that you might need while this case is pending.
que tal vez necesite durante la sustentación de este caso.
Do you understand that?
¿Entiende, señor? Yes.
Do you think you'll be able to post your bond
¿Piensa que sí va a poder depositar la fianza, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
if you are unable to post your bond? Do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
En el caso de no poder depositar fianza y salir, ¿quisiera usted tener la audiencia preliminar o desea renunciar a la audiencia?
Deseo renunciar a la audiencia.
I would like to waive the hearing.
Hago la fianza, salgo con la fianza. ¿Va?
And if I pay the bond, I will get out on bond, correct?
That is correct.
Correcto, señor.
Okay. Entre si lo pago hoy, mañana.
And
¿Salir?
if it's paid today or tomorrow, I would be able to get out?
Yes.
Sí.
Nada más necesito llamar a mi familia y ir a pagar.
I would just need to call my family so they could come and pay.
Right. What
Está
kind
bien.
of work? What kind of work do you do?
Señor, ¿qué clase de trabajo hace usted?
Yo trabajo en roofing, tipo
I work in roofing,
comercial.
commercial.
How much do you earn each month?
¿Y cuánto está ganando al mes, señor?
Depende, yo trabajo por hora.
It depends. I'm paid by the hour.
How much per hour?
¿Cuánto por hora?
18.
18.
18.
18, señor?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Señor, le voy a designar un abogado de oficio para usted.
So you will need to sign a waiver form,
Entonces tendrá que firmar una renuncia
and then you can go back with the deputy.
y luego puede retirarse. Gracias, señor.
Take the mask off, tell me your name. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, señor. Good afternoon.
Nombre.
Mi nombre es Hilario Manuel Flores Vargas.
My name is Silayo Manuel Flores Vargas.
Yeah.
Tell me that name again.
¿Me repite, señor, su nombre completo?
Hilario Manuel Flores Barrios.
Okay.
Hilario Manuel Flores Vargas.
Sí. Flores Hilario Manuel.
Flores, Hilario Manuel.
Sir, you're charged with driving without a license.
Señor, ¿a usted se le acusa de manejar sin licencia?
Sí,
I have set bail
Yes.
at $1,000.
¿Le han puesto una fianza de $1,000?
Okay.
Do you
Okay.
think you will ultimately be able to make that?
¿Piensa que al final va a poder depositar la fianza, señor?
Sí, hoy.
Yes, today.
If you can't, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
En el caso de no poderlo hacer, ¿quisiera tener la audiencia preliminar o renunciarla?
No, sí, estoy seguro de poder hacerlo.
No, I'm sure that I'll be able to pay it.
Una pregunta.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Sí, señor.
Si lo deposito hoy, ¿qué día saldría?
If it is paid today, what day would I go out?
I cannot answer that question. That's up to the sheriff.
Esa pregunta no le puedo contestar. Es decisión del sheriff.
What kind of work do you do?
¿Qué clase de trabajo hace usted, señor?
Soy electricista.
I'm an electrician.
How much money do you earn each month?
¿Y cuánto está ganando al mes, señor?
¿Al mes?
A month?
Yes.
Sí.
Alrededor de $3,500 a $4,000.
Between $3,500 to $4,000.
Has anyone tried to hire you an attorney?
Y señor, ¿alguien ha tratado de contratar un abogado para usted?
Me parece que sí.
It seems so.
All right. I'm not going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Entonces, no voy a nombrar un abogado de oficio para usted.
Ok, entonces llamo a la persona.
Okay. So then do I just call the person?
Yes.
Sí, señor.
Okay. La fianza, le comento que la deposite el día de hoy. Aquí me dan los requisitos.
And depositing the bond today, will they give me my requirements?
Yes.
Sí, señor.
Okay.
All right. You will need to sign a waiver form.
Bueno, señor, usted tendrá que firmar una renuncia.
And then you can go back with the deputy.
Y luego después puede regresar con el señor alguacil. Gracias.
Yes.
Hey, Judge West, we got Attorney Florio on. You want to handle his cases as well, or how we?
Does that take care of all of our Spanish-speaking inmates?
Sir, the other one he bonded out.
Okay.
Lopez.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, was there a Mr. Roble de la Rosa?
Yeah, he said he speaks English.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Your
Thank
Honor.
you, Ms. Tolles.
Have a great day.
You too.
And Judge, his clients are both add-ons.
Right.
You'll come to the podium, take the mask off. And tell him your name.
Untitled Chapter.
What is your name again?
Untitled Chapter.
All right, Mr. Harris, you are charged with having an open container of alcohol in a vehicle and violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance with intent to distribute. It appears that you are currently on probation out of Clayton County, having been sentenced October 15, 2019, for which you received a 1-year suspended sentence and 9 years probation. Because of that and the nature of your charge, this court is not authorized to set bail for you today. So a bond hearing is scheduled for July 31st at 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 203. A preliminary hearing is scheduled July 27th at 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 803. Is there anything further, Mr. Florio, we need to address with Mr. Harris?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Harris, you can go back with the deputy.
All right, come on, over here. Put your mask on. We got another one. Oh, we got one more. Tell him your name, okay? Yeah.
Rodney Harris.
All right, Mr. Harris, you are charged with having an open container of alcohol in a vehicle and possession of controlled substances with intent to distribute Schedule II drug. Because of the nature of the charge, this court is not authorized to set bail. So there'll be a bond hearing on July 31st at 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 203. And a preliminary hearing July 27th at 8 o'clock in courtroom 203.
I think Mr. Harris is confused because there was a third person that was in the automobile. He was arrested and made bond, and he did receive bond at first appearance. I think that's why Mr.
Okay. I went back and reviewed the statute again just to make sure. Let me get my code book out. Because I always have to do it with these types of charges. Following offenses are bailable only before a judge of the Superior Court. Manufacturing, distributing, delivering, dispensing, administering, or selling any controlled substance classified as a Schedule 1 or a Schedule 2. Now,
could I inquire of the court what the Schedule 2 was? Because I think there was an allegation at some point that it was maybe a counterfeit drug.
Let me get the paperwork right quick.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Did possess 3 Schedule 2 controlled substances, 3 oxycodone, 20 milligram, a gray and color pill with a K57 imprint, oxycodone 15 milligram, a yellow and color pill with a T188 imprint, and 7.5 grams amphetamine, a pink and color pill with E345 imprint, I don't see anything that says it was counterfeit.
Okay.
All right, anything else?
No, sir, Your Honor. Thank you for looking at that.
All right, so sir, you can go back with the deputy. And I think that takes care of your 2 cases, Mr. Florio.
It does, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for looking into that, Your Honor.
Sure.
How you doing, John? Tell him your name. Jaquan Allen.
All right, sir, what is your name?
Jaquan Allen.
Okay. All right, Mr. Allen, you're charged with obstructing an officer.
Yes,
I've set bail at $3,000. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
I think so, sir.
If you cannot, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
Sir, what is premier? Can you repeat this word again, sir?
Pardon?
Can you repeat that again?
If you cannot post bond, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I think I can post a bond. I mean,
but if you can't, do you want a hearing?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. That will be on July the 28th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 203.
So, excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Since this my first time, like, can I tell you what happened?
No, sir. This is not what we're here for today.
Yeah, okay.
All right, sir. You can go back with the deputy.
Derek Arthur.
What's your name again?
Derek Arthur.
Mr. Arthur, you're charged with simple battery. I've set bail at $3,000 with the condition that you're to have no contact with Natasha Simmons. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
Yes, sir.
If you cannot make your bond, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
Yeah, I'll take a hearing, sir.
All right, sir, that will be July the 28th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 203.
At 8:30 a.m., sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. All right, sir, you can go back with the deputy.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Majesty.
What is your name?
Lawrence.
All right, sir, you're charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, 2 counts, and driving without insurance, driving a vehicle with suspended registration, and possession of drug-related objects. Bail is set at a total of $18,500. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
I'm not sure.
I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July the 27th at 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 203. I've appointed an attorney to represent you.
Are you going to tell me the name, or will I find out when he comes?
You'll find out when he comes and communicates with you. I do not know the name yet.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so you can go back with the deputy.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. How you doing?
Tell your name.
What is your name, sir?
Carlos Bingham.
All right, Mr. Bingham, you're charged with affray, that is public fighting,
Mhm.
and battery. I've set bail at a total of $6,000 with the condition that you're to have no contact with Malik Johnson Lovett. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
You said 6,000, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you can't, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I want a preliminary hearing.
All right, sir. That will be on July the 28th at 8:30 in the morning
All right.
in courtroom 203.
All right.
I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you if I hadn't already told you.
I got a lawyer.
You do have an,
Yes, I have a lawyer.
okay. Do you know what your attorney's name is?
No, my girlfriend has got him for me. But when I call her, I know.
All right. So you're going to hire your own attorney.
Mhm.
All right. You can go back with the deputy.
All right, thank you.
Tell him your name.
Devin Brown, sir.
Chicken mask. Come up to the podium.
Mr. Brown,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to dismiss the case against you today because the allegations contained in the affidavit are insufficient to support the charge. Now, that doesn't mean it's going away forever because the officer can go to the district attorney's office and have them renew this charge. But for right now, you are not going to be held waiting for him to do that. So I will send an order over to the sheriff's office shortly to have them release you.
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you.
right, you can go back.
Tell him your name.
Shonda Davis.
Ms. Daniels, you're charged with obstructing a law enforcement officer. I've set bail at $3,000. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
Yes.
If you are unable to do so, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
Waive it.
And I have appointed an attorney to represent you. So once you sign the waiver form, you can go back with the deputy.
Oh. Get your paper. It's yours. Oh.
Take your mask off. Just tell him your name.
Stephanie Davis.
Ms. Davis, you're charged with family violence battery. I've set bail at $5,000 with the condition that you're to have no contact with Charlie Sparks or return to 708 South Avenue, Forest Park, Georgia.
That's where I live.
Okay, who else lives there with you?
That's my house. That's not his house.
Okay, does he live there?
No, he don't. I live there. That's my house. My name is on the lease. He don't live.
So I'm going to allow you to coordinate with the sheriff a date and time where you can go get some things that you might need until this case is resolved. And your attorney can talk with you about having this order modified so that you can go back on. But as long as he's there, you cannot.
Okay, I could go to my grandma's.
Okay. Do you think you'll be able to get out on bond?
Yes, sir.
Do you want a preliminary hearing or do you want to waive your hearing?
I waive my hearing.
All right, sir, ma'am, you'll need to sign a waiver form and then you can go back with the deputy.
Thank you.
Come on.
Okay.
Tell them your name.
Oh, Drummond?
Mr. Drummond, you're charged with driving with suspended license. I've set bail at $1,500. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
The thing is, I live in North Carolina, so I can make it. I can do the bail, but I live all the way in North Carolina. Is there a way you can put it in the courts over there?
No, sir. No,
Okay.
sir.
Can I bring it back?
You got to come back to court here. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I can do that.
All right. And did you fill out an application for a court-appointed attorney?
The paperwork y'all need? Yes, sir.
All right. I don't see it right offhand.
Judge, this is say number 9 from the 22nd on there.
Yeah, it's probably among all the paperwork that I've got here. So
Okay.
I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. So did you say you wanted a preliminary hearing or you want to waive your hearing?
What's the difference between that? I've never been in court.
All right, I'm going to schedule you a preliminary hearing for July the 28th
Yes, sir.
at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 203.
Yes, sir. Was I supposed to get like paperwork or something telling me that my license was suspended? Because I never got that.
You can talk with your lawyer about that.
Yes, sir.
Tell them your name.
Daquan Favors.
Mr. Favors, you're charged with various driving offenses: driving too fast for conditions, wrong side of the road, obstructing an officer, driving with suspended license, possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana, reckless driving, and fleeing from police officer. Your bail is set at a total of $12,000. Hold on just a second. Let me double check that. $13,000. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
Yes.
If you can't, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I want the hearing.
All right, that will be on July the 28th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 203. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. So you can go back with the deputy.
Come on over here. Ticketmaster, I'll tell them your name.
Quasi Little.
Mr. Little, you're charged with giving a false name, date of birth, I've set bail at $3,000. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
Yes, sir.
If you cannot, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
Do that. Do it. I can ask one of them a question real quick, if you don't mind.
Ask who a question.
Oh, what, like, if I don't, what's the, like, what do it?
All right, I'm going to schedule a preliminary hearing for July the 28th in courtroom 203 at 8:30 in the morning.
All right.
I will appoint an attorney to represent you, so you can go back with the deputy.
All right.
Take the mask down and come your name.
Jason Lundy, sir.
Mr. Lundy, you're charged with simple battery. I've set bail at $3,000 with the condition that you're to have no contact with Tanisha Spencer. Do you understand that?
Sir.
Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
Yes, sir.
If you can't, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I would like a preliminary hearing.
All right, so that will be July 28th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 203.
Yes, sir. Mr. Judge, sir, you say I got a bond for $3,000.
Yes, sir.
You said my bond is set at $3,000, correct?
Yes, sir.
And my court date for not waiving it is when again, sir? July
28th at 8:30, courtroom 203.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you can go back with the deputy.
All right, thank you, sir.
Take your mask down and come your name. Matthew McKay.
Mr. McKay, you're charged with criminal trespass. I've set bail at $2,500 with the condition that you're to have no contact with Elizabeth Fabian or return to 11712 Registry Boulevard, Hampton, Georgia, except with the assistance of a deputy sheriff to retrieve some of your personal effects. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Think you'll be able to make your bond?
I'm sorry?
Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
Yes, yes, sir.
If you can't, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
Can I get one either way? And whether I bond out or not?
If you post bond, you do not get a hearing.
Oh, I don't? Okay.
That is correct.
All right.
So what do you want?
Post bond.
Do you want to waive your hearing?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, sir, you'll need to sign a waiver before you go back with the deputy. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. So once you sign that waiver, then you can go back. You are Keenan Manley?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Manley, you're charged with family violence, battery, criminal trespass, and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Bail is set at a total of $10,000 with the condition you're to have no contact with Kenesha King, Kamaya Manley, and Keenan Manley, nor return to 5793 Eagles Feather Lane, Riverdale, Georgia, except with the assistance of a deputy sheriff, where you can go back and get some of your personal effects that you might need while this case is pending. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You think you'll be able to make your bond?
Yes, sir.
If you are unable to post bond, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
Yes, sir.
You gonna waive your hearing?
Yes, sir. That will be in a couple of days. Now we'll go to court, correct?
No, sir. No, sir. If you want a preliminary hearing, that will be on July the 28th. If you waive your hearing, you'll go before a state court judge in probably about a week or 10 days.
So if I'm waiving.
Okay. So I am appointing you an attorney, and once you sign the waiver form, you can go back with the deputy.
Yes, sir.
Tell me your name.
Moses Miller.
Mr. Miller, you're charged with family violence battery. I've set bail at $5,000 with the provision that you're to have no contact with Charlie Sparks or return to 708 South Avenue, Forest Park, Georgia, except with the assistance of a deputy sheriff to retrieve some personal effects. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
Yes, sir.
If you cannot, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I would like the preliminary hearing.
Sir, that will be on July the 28th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 203. I am appointing an attorney to represent you, so you can go back with the deputy.
Sir, my name is Tracy Ragland, sir.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ragland, you're charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, obstruction of a law enforcement officer, giving false name, address, date of birth, and driving with suspended license. Your criminal history indicates that you have a suspended 12-month sentence entered by the Clayton County State Court on December the 9th, 2019. And because of that, I am not authorized to set bail on the felony charge. So you'll be held in the Clayton County Jail until you talk with your lawyer about getting a bond hearing. I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July the 27th at 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 203. And I have appointed an attorney to represent you.
July the 27th,
Yes, sir.
courtroom,
203.
no bond for none
No
of
bond on the felony charge.
the felony charge is the driving.
Possession of controlled substance.
It was under an ounce.
Okay, you can go back with the deputy.
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir.
You're Randall Sampson.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sampson, you're charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault and 2 counts of battery, one of which is a family violence. It appears from your history that you were convicted of aggravated assault in March of 2003 in the Fulton County Superior Court. So I am not authorized by law to set bail for you on the aggravated assault charges. There will be a bond hearing on July 31 at 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 203. I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July the 27th, 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 203. Any bond that you might be granted will be conditioned upon you having no contact with Marquez Lovejoy, Perry Gaines, and Trevor Hatcher, or that you return to 8608 Guthrie Drive, Riverdale, Georgia. Do you understand that?
Home, that's my home, 8608. That's my residence. That's my home.
All right, sir, you will need to talk with your attorney about getting this order modified. The main thing is I do not want you to have any contact with those three individuals.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
I know my record reflects extensive history, a criminal history. That I am a veteran, disabled veteran. I have been diagnosed with PTSD, major depression, and anger. And I work for the VA Medical Center, sir. I know my record reflects extended history. But as you can see, within the past 8 years, sir, I have done nothing but live the productive member of society. I purchased a home. I have a federal government job, Your Honor. If I be granted a bond, a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
Sir, I'm not authorized by law to give you one. I don't have the authority. I cannot do it.
Is there any way that I can have a bond hearing before the 31st of July?
No, sir. You can talk with your lawyer. Y'all might be able to get the DAs to consent to a bond before then.
So I filled out the paperwork for a court-appointed attorney so that
I am appointing one to represent you.
And when would I have a chance to speak with them?
I cannot answer that question. So you can go back with the deputy. You are Denasia Stewart?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you're charged with battery. I've set bail at $5,000 with the condition you're to have no contact with Nancy Stewart or return to 704 Waterview Drive, Riverdale, Georgia. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
Yes, sir.
If you are unable to do so, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
Waive it.
I will appoint an attorney to represent you. So as soon as you sign the waiver form, then you can go back with the deputy.
All right.
All right, sir, come on.
Just tell them your name.
Andre Taylor.
Mr. Taylor, you're charged with criminal trespass, simple battery, pointing a pistol at another, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Based on your record, it appears that you were sentenced to 5 years probation on May 8th, 2017 by Clayton County Superior Court. And because of that, I'm unauthorized by law to set bail for you on your felony charges. Any bond that you are ultimately granted will be conditioned upon you having no contact with Raisha Love and David Brown. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I get it.
All right. And I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July the 27th at 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 203. I've appointed an attorney to represent you. Did you fill out an application for an attorney?
Yes, you did, Judge. I gotta send that to you.
Okay, I'm sure I've got it in all this paperwork. I'll look for it. All right, sir, you can go back with the deputy.
Judge, can you tell me the court date one more time?
July 27th.
At 8 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Kiyoshi Jamel.
All right, you're charged with possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana, and bail is set at $1,500. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
I will, but I was wondering, is this charge allow me to do a signature bond?
It will not.
Well, yes, sir. I'll get it up.
Okay, if you, for some reason, are unable to post to bond, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I'll wait.
And I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. So once you sign your waiver form, you can go back with the deputy.
Okay.
Stop at that red line.
What is your name, sir?
Durante Varner.
Mr. Varner, you're charged with criminal trespass. Bail is set at $1,000 with the condition that you're not to return to the 365 grocery store on 1405 Rock Cut Road. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
Yes, sir. I'll be able to make it.
If you are unable to do so, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I wish to waive.
I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Once you have signed your waiver form, then you can go back with the deputy.
Put your mask on.
What is your name, sir?
Ricardo Ward.
Mr. Ward, you're charged with simple battery family violence. I've set bail at $2,500 with the condition you're to have no contact with Carlos Ward or return to 1965 Osprey Drive, Hampton, Georgia, except with the assistance of a deputy sheriff to retrieve some of your personal effects that you might need while this case is still pending. Do you understand that?
I stay there. I don't stay with Carlos Ward. I stay at 1965 Drive. I stay there. You don't stay there.
All right. Well, I'm going to appoint you an attorney. You can talk with your attorney about getting this modified. Do you think you'll get out on bond?
I don't know.
All right. Do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
Waive it. But you said the bond, how much?
$2,500.
Okay.
All right, sir. If you'll sign the waiver form, you can go back with the deputy.
Take a mask off.
Wayne Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, do you know what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
I have set bail at a total of $37,500. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
Yeah, I could. If I can get to my debit card, the custody, I guess.
Okay, well, I don't have anything to do with that, but your bond is conditioned upon you having no contact with Tria Williams and Madison Williams or returning to 1501 Poplar Point Drive, College Park, Georgia. You understand that?
Yes, sir, but that's my apartment. My name's on the lease. None of their names on the lease.
All right. Well, you'll be able to coordinate with the sheriff's office a date and time for one of them to go with you to get some personal effects until you talk with your attorney. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you about getting the order modified so that you can go back there and live. But if there's a possibility they're there, I cannot let you go back. All right, so I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July 27th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 203. All right, sir, you can go back with the deputy. All right, hold on. What is your name?
Elisha Blake.
Okay. Deputy Filbert?
Yes, sir.
Let me take just a moment to make sure I got all my paperwork from June the 22nd before we go to the 23rd. What happened to Christopher Anderson? Do you know?
Anderson. He got a bond.
Okay. All right.
John, you want me to tell you all the ones that's inactive on my side, or?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And I've got to go get me another pen because mine's out of ink. All right, I'm ready to proceed. And you're Elisha Blake.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Blake, you're charged with criminal trespass. I've set bail at $3,000 with the condition you're to have no contact with Iyana Nichols. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
Yes.
If you are unable to do so, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I can waive there. I can make bond.
All right, sir, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Mm-hmm.
Once you sign the waiver form, then you can go back with the deputy.
Okay. I'm sorry, Your Honor. What was the bond again?
$3,000.
$3,000. Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Miss Bynes?
Yes.
Ms. Bynes, you're charged with driving too fast for conditions, driving with suspended license, giving false name, and possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana. Your bail is set at a total of $6,000. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
Yes, sir.
If you are unable to do so, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I wish to waive it.
And I have appointed an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
So once you sign the waiver form, you can go back with the deputy.
Okay, thank you so much.
Tell them your name.
Richard De La Rosa.
All right, Mr. De La Rosa, you're charged with, you were originally charged with a misdemeanor battery, family violence battery. But as I reviewed your criminal history, it appears that you entered a NOLO plea to a charge of family violence battery back on July 12, 2018. Therefore, this is a felony offense. I've set bail at a total of $5,000 with the condition you're to have no contact with Hilarion De La Rosa. And you're not to go back to 6126 Navajo Trail, Morrow, Georgia, except with the assistance of a deputy sheriff to retrieve some of your personal property. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. So this charge would be considered a felony?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way I could get that removed?
No, sir. You'll need to talk with your attorney about that. So I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
Probably through a bonding company, yes.
All right, sir, you can go back with the deputy.
Tell them your name.
My name Herman Fuller. How you doing, sir?
All right, give me just a moment.
Yes, sir.
All right, tell me your name again.
Herman Fuller, sir.
You gotta get back to intake, right? You gotta get back to intake. Once you come down this hallway, who told you gonna go out again? Nah, you're gonna go back to intake. So if you come down that hallway, it's gonna be your first going right down inside there.
All right, Mr. Fuller, you're charged with defective equipment, driving with expired or invalid tag, and possession of a firearm by convicted felon. You were also originally charged with a child restraint violation. However, the affidavit written by the police officer did not include facts that would support a charge of child restraint violation, so that charge is being dismissed. The remaining charges, I've set bail at a total of $11,000. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
Yes, sir. Can I say something, sir, please, sir?
Yes, sir.
The Mr. Gresham, he's here as well. He stated to the officer that the firearm is here. It's in their name. I didn't ever know that that he got inside my car with the firearm. He's my oldest cousin. He's in his 50s. See what I'm saying? And
Well, sir, you need to talk with your attorney about that. I am appointing an attorney to represent you,
yes,
and you can tell her all the facts
yes, sir.
that you just wanted to tell me, because there's nothing more than I can do for you right now.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you can go back with the deputy.
Okay, you say the bond is what, sir?
I think I said 6,000. Let me double check, make sure. Yep, 11,000, I'm sorry.
11,000. Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
One more question. That include all of them?
That's all of them. That's a total of 11,000.
Yes, sir. You have a nice day.
Come on. You too.
Hey, Joseph Haney, Young.
All right, Mr. Gainey, you're charged with theft by shoplifting and obstruction of a law enforcement officer. I've set bail at a total of $7,000. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
Yes, sir.
If you cannot, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
Waive my hearing.
All right. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. So once you sign the waiver form, you can go back with the deputy.
Yes, sir. Oh, one more question, Jan.
Yes, sir.
Would that include my VOP? I know I'm on probation.
I have nothing to do with your violation of probation right now.
All right.
I didn't even know about it.
All right.
Okay.
Jamal Green.
Mr. Green, you're charged with criminal trespass, giving false name, date of birth, and obstruction of law enforcement officer. I've set bail at a total of $7,000. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
No, sir.
Do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I wish to waive.
I have appointed an attorney to represent you. So once you sign the waiver form, you can go back with the deputy.
Okay.
Say Matt down, tell him your name.
Darrell Gresham.
Yeah.
Mr. Gresham, you're charged with possession of firearm by convicted felon and possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana. Bail is set at a total of $11,500. Do you think you'll be able to make that? Sir?
Yes.
I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July 27th at 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 203. And I have appointed an attorney to represent you. All right, sir, you can go back with the deputy.
You said $11,000.
I think that's what I said. Hold on. Yeah, 11,500.
All right.
Come on.
You're Richie Hanley?
No, sir.
All right, hold on. Tell me your name.
Kevin Hartwig.
All right.
Judge Hanley bonded out.
All right.
And Harvey bonded out if you have them on your list as well.
Okay.
Didn't see any break, probably dislocation. I should have told you all about that first. I apologize.
All right, Mr. Hartwig, you were originally charged with possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana and possession of drug-related objects and driving with suspended license based on an affidavit of the arresting officer. In reading the allegation, there is nothing in his affidavit that even mentions marijuana. So I'm going to dismiss that charge, and the remaining charges, bail is set at $2,500. Now there may be that you're wanted out of Tennessee, according to his allegations. Do you understand that?
That's what he told me. It's news to me, Your Honor. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, I've got a younger brother who's into a lot of drugs and gambling and has been selling my Social Security number around the country. I have, at the present time, 3 complaints with the Commerce Department for identity fraud. So when they picked me up, that was the first I heard of it.
All right. Well, apparently you're going to have to go back to Tennessee to address that.
Well, I live in Tennessee, so believe me, I will take care of it as soon as I get back home.
Okay. Now, you think you'll be able to get out on the bond then?
I mean, if I could get my bank card, I could pay it right now.
Okay. Based on the information in your application for appointed attorney, it appears that you're more than able to hire your own attorney. So I'm not going to appoint one to represent you. Let's see what else. I have scheduled, no, these are both misdemeanor offenses. So you have the right to a preliminary hearing if you cannot post bond. Do you want a hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I want to post bond and talk to my attorney, Scott Stapp, before I do anything, sir.
All right. For the time being, then I'm going to schedule a preliminary hearing for July the 28th at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 203. And you can talk to your lawyer about whether or not you should waive that hearing. Do you have any questions?
No, sir, I do not.
All right, sir, you can go back with the deputy.
All right, thank you, sir.
Tell me name.
Mark Hill.
All right, give me just a moment. Mr. Hill, you are charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, tampering with evidence, obstruction of a law enforcement officer, having an obstructed vision and unsecured load. Based on your criminal history, it appears that you were sentenced to 2 years probation on February 21st of this year by the Clayton County Superior Court. And because you're on probation, I'm not authorized to set bail on the 2 felony charges. So you'll need to talk with your lawyer about how to get a bond hearing. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Let's see, hold on just a moment. Yeah. And scheduled a preliminary hearing for July 27th at 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 203.
What time?
At 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock and 403.
203.
3.
All right, sir, you can go back with the deputy.
All right, thank you.
Turn around and face the wall.
Put your mask on. Tell him your name.
Anthony Lane.
Mr. Lane, you're charged with simple battery and criminal trespass, damage to property. I've set bail at a total of $5,000 with the condition you're to have no contact with Parkeetha Lane or return to 673 West Warren Drive, Forest Park, Georgia. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, get off the wall.
If you are unable to do so, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I wish to waive it. Sir, may I say one thing, that her last name is not Lane?
Okay, so let me see something here. That's what they allege in the warrant, so I don't know. That certainly can be changed later on.
Okay.
I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. And you can talk with your attorney about that issue as well. So once you have signed the waiver form, you can go back with the deputy.
Thank you.
Take your mask off.
How you doing, Honor? My name is Jay Leon.
All right. Well, Mr. Leon, you're charged with having a window that was tinted more than allowed by law, excessive window tint, possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana. Bail is set at a total of $2,000. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
Yes, sir.
If you are unable to do so, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I want to set that up too.
All right, that hearing will be July the 28th.
July 28th.
At 8:38, courtroom 203.
8:38 or 8:30 a.m.?
8:30 a.m.
Okay.
And I have appointed an attorney to represent you, so you can go back with the deputy.
Okay. What's the room number for the courtroom?
203.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Have a nice day.
Stand up. Put your hand down.
You're Quincy Lewis.
Sir.
Mr. Lewis, you're charged with criminal trespass. I've set bail at $2,500 with the condition you're to have no contact with Maury Hughes or return to 7045 Biscayne Boulevard, Rex, Georgia. Do you understand that?
Uh-huh.
Do you think you'll be able to make your bond?
Yes, as soon as I get a phone call, I just need a phone call. I haven't been able to use a phone.
Okay. Do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive a hearing?
Wait.
And I have appointed an attorney to represent you, so as soon as you sign the waiver form, you can go back with the deputy.
Thank you, sir.
You are Danielle McDay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with simple battery, family violence. I've set bail at $3,000 with a condition you're to have no contact with Etta Brianna and what looked like Herdison is her last name.
Artisan, yes, sir. That's my wife.
Okay. And you're not to return to the residence without the assistance of a deputy sheriff to get some of your personal effects. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
You can talk with your attorney about how this might be modified where you can go back home.
Okay.
Do you think you'll be able to get out on bond?
Yes, sir.
If you are unable to do so, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I waived that hearing.
All right, so as soon as you sign the waiver form, you can go back with the deputy.
All righty, thank you, sir.
State your name, for 'em.
Gerard Peoples. Gerard Peoples.
All right, Mr. Peoples, you're charged with criminal trespass. Bail is set at $2,500. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
Yes.
Pardon?
Yes, sir.
If you can't, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I don't want to waive it.
All right.
That's all.
No, hold on just a moment.
All right.
I didn't tell you I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. So once you sign your waiver form, you can go back with the deputy.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank
you. Khalil Provost. Print your name here. Hold on. Print your name here. Mr. Provost, sir.
All right.
Hold on, man, hold on. Nothing change. Yeah, no more phone.
Mr. Provost, you're charged with driving without a license, having an expired tag, possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of a drug-related object. Bail is set at a total of $14,000. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
14,000, yes, sir.
And if
so altogether, all the charges together is 14,000.
Yes, sir, so far. So I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July the 27th at 8 o'clock in the morning, courtroom 203.
You said July 22nd?
Yeah, hold on just a moment. Hold on. July 27.
27.
At 8 o'clock in the morning, courtroom 203. I have appointed an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
All right, you can go back with the deputy.
Thank you.
Stephanie Rowe.
Ms. Rowe, you're charged with possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana, possession of methamphetamine, and possession of drug-related objects. Bail is set at a total of $7,500. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
Yes, sir.
Pardon?
Sir.
I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July 27th at 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 203. And I have appointed an attorney to represent you. All right, ma'am, you can go back with the deputy. You're Hanif Sales Jones.
Correct. Yes.
Sir, you're charged with being a convicted felon in possession of a firearm, loitering or prowling, and carrying a concealed weapon. I've set bail, excuse me, it appears that based on the information in the file that you are on probation for aggravated battery out of Illinois, probation ending November 13, 2021. And because you're on probation, I'm not authorized by law to set bail for you on the felony charge. I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July 27th at 8 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 203. I've also appointed an attorney to represent you. So you can go back with the deputy.
All right, thank you.
What is your name, sir?
James Tisdale.
Mr. Tisdale, you're charged with criminal trespass. I've set bail at $2,500 with the condition you're to have no contact with Eric Brown. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. The criminal trespass is for my house, and he's living in my house.
Well, the criminal trespass is alleged that you knowingly and maliciously interfered with the possession and property of the victim, Mr. Eric B. Brown, by placing his personal property outside the residence.
Mm-hmm.
That's a criminal trespass.
Okay.
So you're to have no contact with Eric Brown. And if Mr. Brown is still at that residence, you're not going to be able to go back as long as he's there. I've appointed an attorney to represent you, so you can talk with your attorney about how to get Mr. Brown out of your home. You can't just set the stuff out on the yard.
Okay.
So do you think you'll be able to make bond?
Yeah. Could I make?
If you are unable to do so, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
Say that again.
If you're unable to post bond, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
No, I don't need the hearing.
All right, so once you sign the waiver form, then you can go back with the deputy.
Okay. Okay.
Come on, bro. Come over here, man.
You're Irvin Wallace?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wallace, you're charged with family violence, battery, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Bail is set at a total of $7,500 with the condition you're to have no contact with Tamara Hollingsworth, Damari Arnold, Aiden Arnold, and Zori Arnold, or return to 5831 Williamsburg Trace, Atlanta, Georgia. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You think you'll be able to get out on bond?
Yes, sir. You said it's 7,500?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. If you are unable to do so, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I waive.
And I have appointed an attorney to represent you. So once you sign your waiver form, then you can go back with the deputy.
Yes, sir.
Sign here. Right here. Right in there.
You're D'Angelo Walton?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Walton, you're charged with battery. I've set bail at $5,000 with the condition that you're to have no contact with Abdullah Garnett. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And do you think you'll be able to post your bond?
Yes.
If you're unable to do so, do you want a preliminary hearing or do you wish to waive your hearing?
I would like the preliminary hearing.
All right, sir, that will be July the 28th at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 203. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. So you can go back with the deputy.
Thank you.
You're Travis Washington.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Washington, you're charged with violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of THC and THC oil, methamphetamine, possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana, possession of drug-related objects. Bail is set at a total of $22,500. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
$22,500.
Yes, sir.
Do I think I'll be able to post bail? Yes.
Okay. Now I've scheduled a preliminary hearing for July 27th at 8 o'clock in the morning, courtroom 203. I've appointed an attorney to represent you.
203, you said?
Yes, sir. So you can go back with the deputy.
All right. Judge West, are you ready for the medical?
Yes, sir.
All right. Just tell him. Yeah.
Listen to me, goddamn.
Just tell him your name.
Go inside and I face the wall. You can't find your back all the time.
Say that again.
Erica Tiggs.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah. That's the last, the guy's the last one, and Bertie get right there. So y'all just pop that door and take both at the same time.
Ms. Tiggs, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, you are charged. Originally, you were charged with 3 felony counts of criminal damage to property. Based on the allegations contained in the affidavit, I do not see that it should be felonies. I've reduced them down to misdemeanors. I've set bail. Hold on. You're also charged with 1 count of battery. And because of that, of the fact that you are currently on probation, hold on just a moment. Yep. You're still on probation out of Fayette County. I'm not authorized to set bail on the battery charge. So you're going to be held in jail without a bond. And I have appointed an attorney to represent you so that they can talk with you about your bond and about your preliminary hearing. I'm going to schedule a preliminary hearing for July the 28th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 203. Do you have any questions?
My probation.
Judge, she said her probation is already paid.
Well, you need to talk with your lawyer about that. They can present evidence to the court that you're not still on probation, and then we'll set you a bond. All right, that should take care of her for right now.
All right, who's the next? Let me get the other lady. What's your name? This is Kelly Page, Judge.
All right. Miss Page, can you hear me? Miss Page?
She can hear you, Judge.
All right, Miss Page, you're charged with driving under the influence of alcohol and too fast for conditions. I've set bail at $10,500. Do you think you'll be able to make that?
10,500. If you go through a bonding company, it's between 12 to 15%. Well, he wants to know if you can make bond or not. Yes, Judge, she said she can make it.
All right. I'm going to schedule you a preliminary hearing just in case you cannot for July the 28th at 8:30 in the morning in courtroom 203. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. All right, so do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, she can be excused.
I'm listening. All right, Judge. I have to roll the camera to another area. If you give me about 2 minutes, I'll have him set back up, okay?
Sure, that's fine.
All right. Judge West.
Yes.
All right, this guy here, he's naked. So he can hear you, but I know you live on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. What's his name?
This one's gonna be hey, what's your name? Hill Benjamin.
All right, hold on just a second.
Okay.
Silver,
Yes, sir.
you want me to meet you at medical with the paperwork?
Huh?
You want me to meet you at medical with the paperwork?
Nah, because they can't sign it.
Oh, okay.
All right, Mr. Hill, this is Judge West. You're charged with simple battery of set bail at $2,500 with the condition you're to have no contact with Tamika Taylor. And I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. I'm going to schedule a preliminary hearing for July 28th at 8:30 in the morning.
You heard that? Your bond is $2,500. You can't have any contact with, what's the name, Judge?
Tamika Taylor.
Tamika Taylor.
Does he understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So an attorney will be in touch with him soon.
All right, the judge appointed you a court-appointed attorney, okay? All right, Judge.
All right.
Once I'm finished with this, I'm gonna send you all of the information.
Okay, but I need to, I'm gonna go off of YouTube for just a moment.
Okay.